Thank you to YouGov for sponsoring this video. YouGov allows you to take online surveys to earn points and get cash rewards. YouGov has polls and surveys about politics, pop culture, products, and brands. Instead of spending too much time on social media, I'll take 2 or 3 surveys each day and use the money that we earn from that to invest into the house. I can take surveys while taking a break from working on the house for a few minutes. I can give my opinion on topics that matter to me and get paid to do it. We recently used the money we earned from YouGov to help with the bathroom restoration. Click the link in the description box to start earning money now. And thanks again to YouGov for sponsoring this video.
Hello everybody and welcome back. Hope you guys all had a fantastic Thanksgiving week. We ourselves had a pretty decent one. Kim was off, so we took the time to actually move out of our old place, which I had been hanging on to mostly because it had a shower in it and I needed a shower. But now we're fully out of there. Things are a bit scattered everywhere, but it was something that definitely needed to happen. So let's get right into some time lapses, and I'll see you guys on the other side of those. Check it out, we have a door. And for those of you who've been watching the last few episodes, you'll know that this door was the single worst door in the house. This entire piece had to be taken apart, cleaned up. That panel there is, well, you can still see the crack, but there's a big crack in it. And I'm quite happy with how this thing came out. It was an absolute mess, it still is. There's obviously still many a problem, these old patches and stuff, but in some respects I kind of wanted it to have the character and show some of its flaws. You know, not everything has to be absolutely 110% perfect, and when you're doing a door that was this broken, it's just never going to be. But the wood's still solid, the door's still very pretty, and I kind of like it having a bit of the decay on it. And at the end of the day, you know, worst case scenario, I could always paint it as well. But for the moment, I'm kind of liking how it looks. But we'll make more of a decision on that front when I get closer to deciding what these walls are going to look like. For reference, this is the side door. As you can see the floor here. This is the area that used to be the vet clinic, or an extension of Dr. Gunneman's vet clinic. I do also know that his daughters, after he passed, used this area for dog grooming. And with the floor the way it is here, it is definitely the coolest room I think most basements have, because this is my basement. So we're hoping to do great things down here. And first step for that, certainly the door. The door doesn't actually fully fit into the frame. There's some issue, it's kind of hanging up at the bottom. I imagine something shifted over the years. So there's definitely some course correction I have to make here. It is also possible that the hinges are pulling, which would do this and leave me with no gap here. So there's some fan dangling, let's say, that I have to do to make this all fit perfectly. But for right now, this is good enough. It's blocking a lot of the air that was already coming through here. And actually, as far as the air is concerned, you can actually see the spider webs up there blowing around. That's actually where we're leaking a lot of air, and it's letting a lot of really cold air, because it's cold outside, into this space. So that's why this door was something I really needed to get done. We do have the heat on here right now. Yeah, so doing the door was something we definitely had to get done so we could keep the heating bill much lower. And for what the outside will look like once I get this plywood off, which will come in the spring, is this here. And I think it came out really beautiful. And to be honest, if I ever get sick of looking at the other side of the door, I might paint it like this. Again, depends on what the surrounding beadboard ends up getting. But I think that really came out beautiful. It's super nice. It matches the rest of the house. Well, at least it matches the other back door that we did earlier. So I'm gonna close the chapter, or most of the work anyways, on that project. But before we get into the next set of time lapses, I want to share with you guys what my vision is for this room in particular, because I think this room is actually coming up on the list. So let me go through it with you guys. So if we start with the side door and point to the back of the house, you can see my electrical panels. I do need to build a wall that encloses that from window to window. That way I can hide all that stuff. I have some spare beadboard and probably will steal some of the beadboard back there, bring it forward and put it on the wall there so the whole room will blend. But what I want for this place is actually another room that if people come by, they can stay. So another guest room out of this place. I think, you know, with this tile floor, this has to be something that is always available for things like tours and for people to stay and things like that because it's just beautiful. This is also one of the only rooms in the house that will go against my rule of everything being 1890. This down here will probably be somewhere between 1915, let's say, and 1920. Reason for that being is Mr. Brown sold the house in 1915 to Dr. Joseph Yeneman. And Yeneman is the one who put this room in, as I said before, as a vet clinic. So I want to honor his memory and do it his way in this room with that era's materials. It's gonna be somewhat hard to see because I got the light set up here, but these are actually some of the original cabinets here. And they open up and you can get a little peek inside, but I don't know exactly what he was keeping in here, probably some of the medicines, things like that. And then looking this way, you can see the floor continues there, but it's not here. This was a bathroom when I got here, and I'm pretty sure it was pretty original. I think the toilet was from like 1922 or something like that was in there. So fairly old toilet, would make sense. It's probably about the time he did most of the work down here. But we're gonna end up walling this off. This used to be a doorway here, but I'm gonna wall this off, make this room only have the 2 doors. And you can kind of see my shower hanging out right here, which is actually going to be here, where this is opening out into the main room itself. Which I know might be a little odd in the way it opens up into the room itself. But that is the best way it can fit. So I'm gonna have that there with a marble surround, which is what these were commonly housed in. And hopefully do a little lip here for the drain and hopefully try to recreate some of this style tile here. I know I can buy the square mosaics and put them in. So I'm hoping that will be the shower pan or shower bed will be this style tile. And then where the tile is missing here, now this was always missing. There's probably a few extra ones that have been chipped up just from the work that had to be done for the plumbing to get the new sewer lateral ran. So we'll go ahead and have a toilet here and a sink on this back wall here. So this space actually will be its own little enclosed apartment essentially, because you have a bathroom built into it, and through that door there is actually the side door where I've been working on most of the doors. So that will actually be the kitchen here in the basement as well. So along with the kitchen, this room and that bathroom are going to be some of the next major projects to go in. I'm really excited about that bathroom because A, it gets me a shower here, which is awesome, but I think it'll be really cool to utilize the needle shower. I think it's just going to be really fun. You know, hopefully the novelty doesn't wear off on me, but I'll be pretty excited, I think. So along with the redundant modern kitchen that's going down here in the basement in our laundry room, this room is also next. So it's going to be these 2 rooms that I focus on really heavily during this winter. So enough about this room. Let's get on to the next project, which is making my life just a little bit better, just some more electrical. So before I turn the lights on in here, guys, I wanted to show you guys kind of the light level that I've been working with for the last 6-ish months. This is ever as bright as it is in here at night. All I've got really is this beautiful newel post lamp, which is absolutely stunning, but you know, 2 little bulbs for a room as big as this is, well, it's a little lacking, let's say. However, now if I turn on the light, much brighter. I can actually see, it feels like daylight in here. I'm not trying to fall asleep because it's like mood lighting. It's so much nicer. You'll notice that there's not 1, but 2 lights in here. For those of you who've been around for a while, you might already know the answer on why there's 2 lights up there. But for those of you who are a bit newer to the channel, the reason I have wired 2 lights up there, one of those will actually be on a dimmer, and it's going to be for the gas section of the chandelier I put in here. Now, when this house was built in 1890, it had very primitive electric and gas at the same time. And a lot of the fixtures were both half gas and half electric. And the reason I know that is because I found an insulated wire wedged in between the medallion and the ceiling, which means it had to be done during the time it went up in the parlor. So that's why I know that it's for sure that way. That we have 1 original fixture in the house, which is a half gas, half electric chandelier. There are 4 downturn lights. The ones that turn down are all electric. The ones that turn up, so there's 4 uprights, actually are gas, and they have the little gas jets still on them. So when I go to wire this back up, I'm not going to obviously run a new gas line back to it or use the existing gas line. But what I'm going to do instead is wire the electrical and the gas separately. That way I can turn the light level on the gas down to what would have been historically correct for gas lights. So at least then the mood and the feel of the room is kept with the historical flair. Currently right now it's very bright in here because I'm using very bright bulbs because it helps keep me awake while I edit these videos for you guys. This is the room I edit in, so. And also sleep in, obviously, with the bed. So another room down, which means I can take some of these extension cords that run everywhere out of here. And that's another one of my big goals for this winter is to get the entire first floor wired up in its entirety and be done with it. That way we can walk around and turn on lights, and then all the extension cords can move to the 2nd floor because I'm getting a little annoyed of stepping on them. So that's gonna do it for this week, guys. Thank you so very much as always. I hope you guys had a fantastic Thanksgiving. I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend and have a whole fantastic week. And like always, I'll see you guys again next Friday. Take care. Bye-bye.